to the studio!
Hello, HU. This is Huntington's Alternative Television. I'm Jordan Peterson.
And I'm Nick Colgrove.
We begin today's news with a tragic tale of mayhem and mischief that took place almost 3 weeks ago. A group of young scholars, now referred to as the Baker Nine, set out to explore an abandoned factory right here in Huntington. What they did not know is that the EPA had condemned the building just 3 weeks earlier.
That's right, Nick. In fact, the factory was labeled as highly dangerous by environmental officials who concluded that it was essentially a carcinogen factory. The factory is filled with barrels of asbestos, copious amounts of benzene, and numerous demented vagrants, all of which are known causes of cancer. Due to these hazards, police were given the order to arrest any trespasser on site, which is exactly what happened.
The oblivious Baker Nine were caught off guard as within 10 minutes of entering the factory, police swarmed the area, blaring their sirens and releasing the hounds.
The chaos that ensued inspired such battle cries as, "Guys, cops, run!" The dogs are angry. The dogs are angry. And Mom, I'm in jail.
Nick and I sat down with several of the Baker Nine to hear their story of barbed wire and woe.
First off, just to start, of all the idiots, of all the idiot villages, of all the idiot nations, let me just say that you gentlemen stand alone.
Whoa.
You guys were with us. And Nick,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Nick
drove.
was one of the drivers. Nick was one of the drivers.
And if you,
I was in his car.
And,
I don't know.
And then Jordan, of course,
And
all
you
the
guys-
signs he
you guys
stole.
just can't say that we're idiots if you did the same thing.
I mean, Jordan was the one stealing all the signs.
Why are you in suits anyways? What's going on?
So when the police arrived, what were some of the first things that popped into your head?
Oh my gosh.
Where's Nick?
Oh crap.
Oh, I actually did not know the cops were here until.
Oh crap, they're gonna get my stash.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I still have that pocket full of illegal drugs, and I need to get rid of it right now.
I was actually not even aware that the cops were there.
I knew that there's probably more of them than me, and I didn't really know where it was anyway, so I decided to turn myself in.
I left the factory ASAP, not running. I was walking gently. And I started taking pictures from the outside in, you know, to make it look like I wasn't even inside the factory.
I would like to add that me and the two anchors actually possibly did flee from the cops when we climbed a rusty barbed wire fence and started walking many blocks away from the factory to get away from the cops.
So upon hearing that there were dogs coming into the compound, how did you react?
Woohoo! The dog wouldn't even see me. I'm invisible.
That doesn't make any sense though.
It does though. I can hide behind trees.
But they were angry too. They were angry.
And what were your guys' thoughts when you found out that the place had been condemned?
And apparently this condemnation was supposed to be well posted, and apparently this was not. We should have known. We didn't.
Apparently they thought some printouts
Yeah.
plastic.
On the ground.
Ben
Yeah.
found one, right, Ben?
And found one on the
Yeah,
ground.
but it was like muddy and wet. It
Covered in
obviously-
anthrax.
Yeah, pretty much.
I had, to,
Ben
well, I had to
seen
dust off the anthrax to see it first.
Thought nothing of it.
I didn't know until people were yelling at me to get out of the benzene barrel that I was chilling out in, swimming around.
So what happened to your CMC, who was apparently last seen fleeing the scene?
Mexico.
Mexico. Back is
That we know of.
We don't know actually.
Not
Where it is now.
I heard run.
I did not even
I heard
know
run.
he ran until someone told me.
Oh my. I heard run, and then I saw one foot in the corner of like a little window, and I was like, oh crap. So.
We haven't heard from him since,
Yeah.
other than like a few postcards from Cancun, which is weird. I didn't know that he was down there. But he said something about like jurisdiction and plea bargain.
Yeah.
He sent us some coins though. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The peso.
Pesos.
Pesos?
I have one.
How do you pronounce that?
Pesos.
Peso?
Okay.
It's a peso.
You're from Brazil.
It's a peso.
Dustin, if you're watching this, please come back. We need our CMC. We don't have any fun activities anymore. And
We don't get to run from the
we
cops.
haven't had spiritual night for a very long time.
And worship night.
Yeah.
So please
Worship.
come
You
back.
say worship.
Here at Huntington, we pride ourselves on our openness towards others. To celebrate, we at HAT have a special segment called the Minority Report, in which we'll be talking to a different minority every week. Since the elections are coming up, this week we decided to interview a Democrat.
First off, John, I'd like to say thank you for meeting with me today.
No problem, Nick, no problem.
Okay, so just to start off, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
No, Nick, that was kind of the agreement. No one would know who I was, or you're blurring out my face. You're not
Yeah.
using my real name, right?
Yeah.
Good.
So, what's it like to be a Democrat here at HU?
It's awful, Nick. I can't eat, I can't sleep. I think they're out to get me, you know. They all have guns thanks to that Second Amendment.
Yeah, but they're not going to try and kill you, John.
I don't know about that. What did they do to the community bikes? They called them socialists and they mutilated them.
Yeah, but I mean, those are inanimate objects. They're not going to try and hurt a person.
Look at it this way. You know how there's the HU Republicans. Well, what happened to the HU Democrats? I mean, they have mysterious disappearance. I gotta go.
Okay. All right. And this is Nick Colgrove reporting for the Minority Report.
Isn't it great how we can have different ideals but yet all accept each other with love? Continuing on this theme of love and affection for mankind, Taylor's University has recently given the axe to one of its branch universities. The Fort Wayne branch has been returning a deficit over the past few years, so the main Upland campus decided to no longer continue the program there.
This sequence of events has led Arthur Holmes, the author of The Idea of a Christian College, to change his original idea of a Christian college from the promotion of a virtuous and faith-based environment to the following principle. Instead of encouraging the growth of profits, they now insist on encouraging the growth of profit.
With the closing of Taylor's Fort Wayne branch, 340 students are now looking for a new college, and an approximate 120 staff and faculty members may be without a job.
This leaves us asking, who are the real victims of this whole ordeal? Our peers who are being forced out of their community and home to look elsewhere? The 100-some faculty members that may be without a job, all because dollar signs aren't in the right place? Or has the Christian community lost another strong foothold in the realm of higher education?
The answer is simply none of the above. We are the victims of this collapse, Huntington. Our university is offering to accept all Taylor credits via transfer to allow for an easy transition of the Fort Wayne Falcons into Huntington's program. We can't allow this, Huntington. We have worked way too hard to build this Huntington bubble, and we can't let this Trojan horse of a university infiltrate us. We all know what happens when foresters meet with falcons in the wild. People get scratched, and it's unpleasant for everyone.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one, Jordan. If we let this absorption of Taylor take place, what's next? First, we're helping out neighboring universities that are struggling, and then what? Food drives? Help to the needy? Fall workday? Completely unacceptable.
Unacceptable!
I say we turn this Huntington bubble into a Huntington force field, as simulated here. Of course, these outside connections are not the greatest threat to Huntington, as Jordan Peterson reports.
Recently, members of the Baker Third have initiated a competition revolving around the 1995 smash hit and nationwide phenomenon, Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all! Pokemon!
Pokemon, for those of you who did not have a childhood, is a Game Boy game in which you capture cute and cuddly creatures and force them into battle, or you use them for various other purposes to your benefit. The subject of tonight's debate is this competition of Pokemon a good thing or a bad thing for Huntington? And further, do the principles of Pokemon cohere to Huntington University's virtues? I say yes.
And that is where you're wrong, Jordan. A capture of cute and cuddly creatures for your own means? Are you talking about a game or Huntington's recent man auction? The fact of the matter is simple. Pokemon promotes animal cruelty. Just look at Michael Vick, as pictured here. He started off as a nice enough kid. He just loved his Pokemon. He played all the time. And then what? That's right. The transition from Pokemon trainer to dog fighter is absolutely seamless.
First off, I'm pretty sure that kid wasn't Michael Vick, because I'm pretty sure he never owned a Game Boy. Secondly, I have many friends who have played Pokemon, and only a few of them are dogfighters. And besides, the battles in Pokemon aren't even violent. There's no blood, no carnage, and the Pokemons don't even die. They just faint. It's just the equivalent to a friendly little pillow fight between furry woodland creatures, and frankly, who doesn't love that?
Furry woodland creatures? Does this look like a furry woodland creature to you? If I woke up to this thing challenging me to a pillow fight, or frankly just staring at me, I'm pumping that sucker full of my Second Amendment right. These creatures are disturbing, and what's more disturbing is their voodoo magic that they use to fight each other. Last I checked, voodoo was frowned on here.
Voodoo? Where did your gigantic head get that from? Pokemon use elemental attacks like ice, fire, water, etc. There's nothing magical about it. What's more, the games teach science. Fire burns grass, water conducts electricity. Psychics are unstoppable. It's just a fact. Or aren't you a fan of education?
Funny that you mention education, because that's the exact thing kids won't be paying attention to when they have a Game Boy in their hands. These teachers are trying very hard to teach the igneous rock cycle, but little Timmy's too concerned that his level 35 Ponyta has just evolved. Jordan?
I'm sorry, what?
You, sir, are tragedy. Tragedy. Way to become another cliche kid with ADD who's gonna fail out of school to take up his career at the nearest fast food restaurant.
Dude, before you bash the game, you gotta try it.
Unlike you, I don't really want to waste both my life and my money.
Everybody is doing it. Just try.
I don't want to! They said it was addicting in school.
That is just an urban myth. You can't get hooked from the first time.
I don't want to. Just get away from me.
Fine, I'll just leave it here. Okay? And we'll just see what happens. Well, I guess that's it for our show. Tune in next week when we discuss the phrase, Norm the Forester is going green. In the meantime, Huntington, stay classy.
Dustin was like, let's go to the factory, guys, because it's cool.
I thought we were going to Pizza Junction.
But I was taking pictures, and then the cop pulls up, and he's like, where are your friends? I was like, I don't know, maybe inside the factory. And then he was like, get back to your car. And I was like, can I take one more picture? And then he was like, get back to your car. So I walked back to my car. My head bowed, humility. I was back with the cops first. I walked back and I was chilling with them for like 20 minutes before anybody else showed up.
That is the best
I
part of this.
was talking and they were like, okay, I wasn't talking, they were talking. They were just making fun of everybody else that was still in the factory or whatever. It was kind of funny. They were telling their versions of the story. They were calling everybody idiots. I just chuckled along, I guess.
What did they say?
They said like, they talked about when these two anchors got caught with Evan here. They were peeking around a corner or something, and the K9 unit had driven up behind them.
Hey, I was told to peek around the corner.
No, but the K9 unit, I was hearing a guy tell us, he's like, I pulled up behind these guys, and then they turned around, they're like, oh. And then he just laughed. And
I had a big spool of string.
Ooh,
yeah,
cool.
that turned off a balcony.
But Officer Bickle was the angriest.
Yeah,
He was a furious man.
He was angry.
He was green as a pickle.
Officer
Pickle.
Yeah.
I'm just like,